Good afternoon, this is Dave Nadler with the National Weather Service office in Peachtree City, Atlanta with your routine weekly weather briefing. It's Thursday, November 16th, 2023, and we'll be looking basically over the next 5 to 7 days. So here are the main highlights basically through the middle part of next week for the next 2 to 3 days through the weekend. Seasonal temperature conditions, not expecting any widespread rainfall. The drought, especially across parts of far northwest Georgia, will persist. We are expecting a weak cold front to cross the area late tomorrow into early Saturday, with a few rain showers moving through, but nothing that's really going to put any sort of dent in the current drought conditions across North Georgia. However, as we head into the early to middle part of next week, we are looking at a potentially larger, more significant storm system that could affect the area with heavier rainfall and maybe even a few storms. Obviously, we'll fine-tune those details as we head through the next few days and into the early part of next week. And then by the middle to end of next week, as we approach Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving weekend, we are looking at colder but drier conditions, more seasonal and even potentially below normal for the middle to end of November to affect parts of north and central Georgia. So here is the latest drought monitor that was issued today. We've got not a whole lot of change from what we were seeing this time last week. Some of the D1, D2 areas in yellow and orange have expanded a little bit, especially across parts of southwest Georgia, but across parts of North Georgia, that's where we see the most extreme to exceptional drought conditions sort of persisting. Look like there's not going to be a whole lot of change in this as we head into the next week. This is obviously going to have a direct impact on wildfire behavior, burning situations, things like that, because the conditions, the soil conditions, and the fuel moistures out there are so low and so dry. So anything that could trigger fires, and with the winds that could kick up, could create some potential issues, local issues across the area for the unforeseeable future until we start getting some more significant rainfall events, but it's going to take a few of those to really knock some of this higher end drought conditions down. Here's the latest satellite. We've got some clouds moving in from the south and southeast. There's an area of low pressure off the southeast coast of Florida, wrapping some moisture back across the state of Florida into far south Georgia. You can see that on radar. Really shouldn't have much of an impact on our weather tonight into early tomorrow. Maybe a few light showers across far southeast portions of central Georgia, but again, not really looking at a whole lot with this system. It should stay off the coast and far enough away from our forecast area tonight into early tomorrow. So it should be a really good evening and overnight hours tonight into the first part of tomorrow. The weather should be pretty quiet. Here are our low temperatures for tonight. Generally in the low to mid 50s for most areas, some 40s in the higher elevations of North Georgia. You see those probability of any precipitation, basically an isolated shower, less than 20% for areas generally south of and east of Macon down to Dublin, Statesboro area, basically through the evening hours. Heading into tomorrow, our high temperatures should rebound quite nicely above normal. Generally in the low to mid 70s for a good chunk of the area, looking at the whole state here, but for north and central Georgia, we've got some mid to upper 60s in the higher elevations, but generally 70 to mid 70s across the area. The overnight low temperatures tomorrow night will drop back down into the mid to upper 50s, and we will start to see some later in the day into the evening hours. A few showers could start to approach from the northwest, and that's the next system, that weak front that's expected to cross the area tomorrow night into early Saturday. So a few scattered showers, no storm threat at this point with this front, could start to impact parts of North Georgia late tomorrow into tomorrow night. Now heading into Saturday, high temperatures on Saturday be a little bit cooler behind that front across parts of west central and North Georgia, dropping down into the low to mid 60s for highs. Out ahead of the front, we should rebound nicely into the 70s, and then Saturday night into early Sunday morning, you can see those lows dropping off into the 30s and 40s for most areas. Again, any precip that we get early, like Friday night into early Saturday, should clear out by Saturday afternoon. So there's really no chance of any measurable precipitation beyond Saturday afternoon and the Saturday night at this point. Just some cooler temperatures and a little bit of wind from the northwest kicking up Saturday into Saturday night. Heading into Sunday, seasonal weather, normal highs for Atlanta, at least in the mid 60s. We're going to see that. Overnight lows in the 40s are about near normal for this time of year. So no chance of any measurable precipitation Sunday into Sunday night. Now looking ahead into Monday and Tuesday, I've got two different models kind of showing you a pretty pronounced area of low pressure coming out of the lower Mississippi Valley. Don't pay attention to exactly where that low is, but this is Monday night basically. The low is going to come out of the Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana area and into the lower Mississippi River Valley, moving northeast. And as it approaches the area, we'll start to see some increased moisture and showers, maybe even a storm, just depending on exactly where that warm front sets up across the area Monday night into Tuesday. So right now it's definitely looking like Monday night into Tuesday would be our main period to see any measurable rainfall. Fast forward by Tuesday afternoon and the evening, you could see both models showing the front. One model is a little bit faster, bringing the front through on Tuesday afternoon. Other model is a little bit slower, but either way, I mean, this is going to get ironed out a little bit over the next few days. But Tuesday could be a fairly active day with potential for some storms and heavier rain showers across the area. We could definitely use the rain across the area for sure. So we'll be watching that. Just keep an eye on that over the weekend as this system becomes a little bit more pronounced in what it could do for the area. And then this is showing an ensemble of models. The left is the European, the right is like the American ensemble models, and probabilities of seeing more than an inch of rain with the early next week system. The Euro is a little bit higher, showing some areas as high as 60 or 70% in the mountains in North Georgia, which is good news for those folks that are dealing with the extreme to exceptional drought conditions. GFS, the American model ensembles are a little bit lower, but at least there's some painting of 10 to 30% chance of seeing more than an inch of rain with next week's system. So we'll keep an eye on that. We could use the rain. Hopefully it will come without any real severe weather threat. At this point, the threat for severe weather is low, but we could see a few storms in the warmer air mass, especially across parts of central Georgia as the system kicks across late Monday night, and into Tuesday. Looking further ahead into time, Thanksgiving week and weekend, November 21st through the 25th. Again, behind next week's system, we are expecting quite a bit colder temperatures, even below normal temperatures possible across the area. And Climate Prediction Center has highlighted like a 50 to 60% chance of seeing below normal temperatures for that 4 to 5 day period, November 21st through the 25th. And then on the right side, you see the precip, which is generally kind of center around that system exiting the area early in the period, November 20th, 21st. But for a good chunk of the area, we could see above normal precip during that 4 day span. So some good news as far as getting some measurable rainfall, like appreciable rainfall, and then the cooler temperatures coming in behind it is no surprise. Not looking at any record-breaking cold or anything like that, but a little bit cooler than what we've been seeing recently. So let me summarize. Basically, the next few days, fairly quiet. We are watching a weak front that will be coming across the area late tomorrow into tomorrow night, early Saturday. For most areas, it will be dry, but there could be a few rain showers that develop along and ahead of the front. Otherwise, the extreme to exceptional drought conditions will persist across parts of north and northwest Georgia. And there's really no end in sight on that over the next 7 to 10 days, even with the bigger, more organized system coming across the area early part of next week. Even if we get 1 to 2 inches of rain in spots, doubt it'll really impact the D3, D4 areas of drought across far north Georgia. And then behind that system, early next week, we are expecting much colder but drier conditions. But below normal temperatures for a few days heading into Thanksgiving and the first part of Thanksgiving weekend. So that is what we're looking at over the next few days. If you need to reach us, there are multiple ways you can do that. And we hope that you all have a really good rest of the day and a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.